Hey, let's talk about games. Hello my friend, welcome back. I've got a video for you now talking about the season system of Inquisitor Martyr. The reason being is I'm getting asked this question quite a lot. A lot of people are curious if it's free, if it's expensive, what do you get with it, why do we only have the starting subsector when the game comes out, why is there not a whole galaxy to explore, what is going on and what exactly. Every other game has seasons, so what's so special about this? Well, this is going to be information that's already out there. I've done this in every single interview, and every single interview I've ever watched from Victor or Gogo or Dave. The season system is outlined, but I'm going to give it to you in the flesh because I know it's quite easy to miss some of this information because there's quite a lot of places you can get it from. So, the season system within Inquisitor Martyr is a sort of a cyclic system which will introduce new content to the game. Now, how it's going to work for us in the coming few weeks and months is 4 to 6 weeks after launch. The Lacan system here is going to have some trouble. Just excuse the placeholder here, I've got a few graphical glitches at the moment. The final system within this sector at the moment or subsector is going to become a war zone. Now we know that's going to happen via narrative means, so we know that we're going to complete the campaign, everyone's going to get a bit of time to gear up and get ready, and then a quote-unquote community event will start, which is going to be the temporary endgame feature. Now, the reason I say temporary is this is going to open up within this final system, and this is going to be converted into a war zone where we're going to have, please feel free to check out the last video I did talking about what the war zone probably will include. This will have the quote-unquote end game systems, and during this there will be events happening every couple weeks which I believe will move forward the sort of the timeline and the narration of this, leading it up to a finale or conclusion, etc. We don't know exactly how it's going to end, how it's going to wrap up, but there is going to be a choice at the end. And what's going to happen after this is we don't just end the game here. We don't just say, right, well, this is the end of Martyr. This actually then catapults us into the next area. So now if we go back to the Caligari sector, and this is actually our sandbox. So we go back to the sector here, and this is our subsector that we start in, the Tenebra subsector. We're going to be moved into another subsector after this, so we're going to have a comparable amount. We're unsure if it's going to be one portion of the subsector opened up or the entire subsector at once. There is a sticky post from the developers on this. I'm going to leave it down in the comments below. So this will be happening probably more like 12 weeks after launch, because we're going to have 4 to 6 weeks until the end game opens up. Now that end game content is then going to run for quite a while, and then the levelling system will kick off again. And at that point, then we basically repeat this process, and this forms a sort of a tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock system where we have alternating levelling endgame, levelling endgame. But I think really for the purposes of Martyr it's better off describing it as levelling warzone, levelling warzone, levelling warzone, and each warzone will be tied into a narrative and will lead to another series of events, investigations, etc. within the next sector. Now, do consider as well that this is all narrative based, so there will be investigations tied to these seasons, meaning that you're not just going to be walking around killing stuff that's randomly appeared. There will be a story associated to it. If you have played the game thus far, there is a sort of a couple of mini investigations that have a story tied to the word bearers and other such, and the Night Lords, etc. And those sorts of things will be carrying us forward from the game here. So the single player campaign will be, as far as I'm aware, isolated to the Tenebra subsector. That's then going to finish. Then we're going to be waiting for the season narrative to carry us forwards. And in terms of the seasons, they are free. They are free, they are free, they are free. They do not cost you anything. There is mention of other smaller DLC packs. You can see details on the console pages of optional content that you may want to purchase through the year, but it's not mandatory to progress through the game. The seasons themselves are free, so once you bought the game, it looks like you may never need to spend another penny, although there are 2 major DLCs planned way down the line. It's just with these things in Games Workshop, you have to have a plan in advance. You have to Games Workshop need to know what you're doing, because yet again we got that IP leash. Now guys, this is what happens with the season system, and what you're going to get when a new season comes is you're going to get new mission types, you're going to get hopefully new maps, you're going to get a new enemy faction to play against, obviously the investigations tied to that, and probably new items, weapon skins, etc. Now it's hard to say how many, it's obviously impossible to quantify right now because we don't have the juicy details, but this is what we've got to play with and look forward to with Martyr. And I would stress to you guys, every single time I've asked them the question, what is the most exciting feature about your game? What is it that's going to make Martyr special? They always refer to this. This is the selling point of the game. Community-orientated events that you can still do in solo play, by the way. You can completely do it as a solo player. But they're still community events where the overall macro decision of the player base, think of it like a sort of a democratic vote, influences the outcome. So your own individual narrative may have sort of options where you choose radical Puritan, but the overall arching storyline may result in you going from one subsector to another, or indeed to another depending on the choice. And it may be a choice between, I don't know, letting orcs win an invasion so you can save a certain planet, or go ahead and taking on the orcs and having that planet lost. But there will be consequences to these seasons, and things will happen that shape the sandbox that they have created. At least that's their ambition, and that's what they tell us. And there has also been mention of the word exterminatus from time to time. So guys, that's obviously something to look forward to. I just wanted to get it out in the ether so you guys know what to expect from this, because it is a system I am super excited for. Really looking forward to it. Just remember, 4 to 6 weeks after release, give or take, because this is an estimate that was given to us several months ago. And we're going to start to see the first event open up. First global event where we're going to have a battle zone, a war zone rather, open up, and then that's going to be present for a while. I think it's up to about 8 weeks, and then after that the leveling system will progress. We'll all gain some more levels. The beauty for me is that we don't have to make a new character every single time there's a season. Instead, our characters grow, which is why sometimes I refer to this as being a bit like an MMO type model. It's not an MMO in terms of game genre, but the alternating between leveling, Warzone, leveling, Warzone, leveling, Warzone is something I really look forward to, because I get to keep my character and watch him evolve over time. Guys, in terms of how many seasons you can expect, we're expecting them every 3 to 4 months. Obviously that's a provisional estimate. These numbers and the information you've heard in this video may have changed, as some of this is based on interviews that I have done many moons ago. Guys, you look after yourself, and once again, have yourself a great day. Take care.